All right, this is the only good part of this flick, in my opinion. The bad guy, played by Dan O'Herlihy, and he's quite a decent bad guy. He's rigging all the Halloween masks with detonators so that every kid in America is going to get his head squashed into Jell-O on Halloween night. Now, if we go by the test kid that we just saw, we've got eyes lasered out of sockets, followed by bugs crawling out of the mouth, and then rattlesnakes crawling out of the insides of the body and eventually eating the parents. I thought the kid did a good job, didn't you? Very convincing. All right, forward. Let's kill some rugrats. How about it? Bionic gore. If all those people in the factory aren't really people, what difference does it make when they get parts of their bodies ripped off? It's just a bunch of springs and wires and stuff. There's that one fairly decent scene where the zombie puts a power drill through the nurse's ear, but there's not any gurgles, there's no gasps, no moaning, no screaming. If you think about what would happen if somebody drilled you through the ear, it'd probably be kind of a squishy sound. Well, you probably wouldn't hear much after it actually went in, but after the steel popped through the skull, squishy sound, then if he twisted it around inside like the zombie does, it'd probably gush blood like one of those instant modern art twirling paint machines at the state fair. That'd be my guess. But see, we'll never know now, because the people who made this movie are not artists. Okay, back to the flick. Well, dang, I gave away the power drill through the ear scene, didn't I? Shoot, I didn't mean to do that. I can't keep track of every body part in the whole movie, though. Anyhow, I love that speech that the old man makes, explaining the old Celtic sacrificial rites, something about our wattles and clay. I don't know what he was saying, but it sounded great. And now for the conclusion of Halloween 3, the one that has no Jamie Lee Curtis, no Donald Pleasance, and worst of all, no Michael Myers, but we do have exploding Halloween masks. That's what we've got here. All righty, roll it.
Now I'm not feeling any...
Okay, Leo, I don't want to hear it. All I know is on August 14th, the swimming pool was one color. On August 15th, the water turned a different color. People are upset about it. The Pakistani families won't even go there anymore. Well, you work for the city. You figured out. I'm out of it. Good grief. Well, anyhow, I'm happy to report that fortunately for the history of horror films, Halloween 3, which we just watched, was a big box office disappointment. So when they made Halloween 4, Michael Myers was back and Donald Pleasance was back. Mustafa Akkad, the producer of that series, learned his lesson the hard way. Okie dokie, at this point I would like to introduce the luscious and lovely TNT Mail Girl. You know what? I didn't see you last week, honey. Where were you?
Cancun.
Cancun.
Yeah, you know, it's in Mexico.
I know it's in Mexico, so you just took a trip down to Cancun?
Yeah, and it was fun.
That must have, you know, cost a lot of money to go down there.
I don't know. Somebody else paid for it.
Somebody else paid. All right, I don't want to know anything else. Don't say anything else. Drop that subject entirely. Don't even mention Cancun. Why didn't you even... You shouldn't have even brought that up.
What is wrong with you?
Nothing.
This should make you feel better, okay? Some more of those boys in on jail likes you. You know what I mean? I think you do. This one's from Chris Phillips. It's Spencer, Tennessee. I can't...
Spencer, Tennessee. What's up, Joe Bob? My name is Chris Phillips, also known as Yankee. Me and my fellas watch your show every Friday night. We don't have much else to do. We're in Spencer County Jail in Tennessee. Don't get me wrong, but we would like to be at the bar for last call. We don't much care what they look like anymore. We're all in here for DUIs. Our time ranges from 4 months to 8 months. You put a new spirit in old movies. We sit back and get a kick out of your subtle humor. You're one of a kind, Joe Bob. You hear this? If you could, would you bring us up on your show? You see, Joe Bob, we're one of your most captive audiences. We got a kick out of what you said about your third wife. She sounds like a good girl. Could you send her up to the jailhouse? Tell her to bring her pig head. Your friends doing time, Chris, Don, Rick, Tom, Scooter, Jeff, and Chuck. Okay, guys, look, I don't know how long you boys been in jail, But I guarantee you, you do not want to meet my third ex-wife. If you met her on the outside, you'd go back to jail. There's Turkish sailors that have been out at sea for 8 months who won't go near her. She's not the kind of thing that you want to look at the next morning, I'm telling you, especially you guys that are doing whiskey time there in the jail. You have a blackout, end up with her, it could cost you $5,000 before you get your truck back. You know what I mean? I think so. You know what I mean, don't you, hon?
No, I'm still trying to figure out why you, hate Cancun.
I don't hate Cancun. I hate the idea of Cancun. You said the word Cancun. I started getting ideas about what goes on in Cancun, and it started to drive me nuts.
So what, then you hate Mexicans?
No, I don't hate Mexicans. If you have to know, I hate the idea of you going to Cancun. I hate the idea.
Well, you're not very nice.
All right. All right. Who'd she go with? One of you guys knows who she went with, right? Why is the second camera guy staring at his shoes? What? It's somebody in this building, isn't it? Dang, you guys, you were not going to say a word to me, were you? Cancun was the secret the whole time? I could have paid for that. You get those $79 weekend pina colada packages, whatever those things are. Too late now. All right, I'm not going to think about it. What we're going to do is we're going to watch the next flick, which is called Burnt Offering, starring Oliver Reed and Karen Black and Betty Davis. And we're going to have what's known as a cooling off period here while I send jack-booted thugs among the crew to gather information. And what we got here is a typical suburban family rents a big old summer house, and there's an old lady living in the attic, and some really, really strange stuff starts happening. Kind of a traditional haunted house flick, but with a big budget. And I won't tell you what happens because I don't want to give it away, and also I'm not sure what happens. But the totals are 3 dead bodies and a lot of creepy noises and strange occurrences. And that's about it. 2.5 stars. Check it out. I'll be sitting right here. And Mexico. Mexico. I thought it'd be someplace like, I don't know, Florida. Mexico would have been easy. Pesos, they're great. Here's $1. They give you like 9,000 pesos.